the things I really enjoy about Hizmet is that opportunity to participate, not just in dialogue, but in actually doing things. So I'm a big supporter of, I guess what we would call social services that are provided, with the willingness to help people who aren't as fortunate. I've met some of the businessmen in Turkey who are just so much serving as blessings to other people. They don't just make the money, they do make money, but they don't just make the money, they turn it back into their community, and they turn it back into the communities of strangers, of people they've never met, and they're very happy to do that.
These are local businessmen. Some are very prominent, but others are just the local, like the local Chamber of Commerce or the local businessman's club. They operate much the same way, and we know that in the United States. And when these people get together as a businessman's club, they very frequently engage in charitable activities, feeling that they have a responsibility. So this is not something totally new, this aspect of the Hizmet movement. But the difference is that in Turkey, people are being called upon to practice their religion, to do this as not just out of pure charity, but out of their religious obligations. And the other, of course, difference is the extent to which this is happening in Turkey and spreading outside, that people are not just giving, some money or something, they're actually devoting their lives.
I think the reason that people are so generous in their donations, especially people first within the movement, is that it's part of their commitment to the movement. And what I learned in my research in Turkey is that almost everybody without exception contributes to the activities of the movement. And they do it often in a quiet way. The old saying that the right hand shouldn't know what the left is doing, you hear that over and over. But it's their way of supporting the movement that they believe in and that they are so vitally part of. And the interesting thing is, regardless of what people give, we know as sociologists that they give not just to show their commitment, but it also builds commitment. When you make a contribution to something, you have a stake in it. So I think it's a circular thing. It's one of the reasons that make people so firmly committed to the movement. It's their movement. And what I learned is that from the wealthiest businessman to the poorest blue-collar worker, they're all contributing something.
People in Hizmet do not brag about themselves. It's from a different motivation. It's from the idea of doing something that is good in this world and not expecting a reward for it in this world. That is a definition of faith there. So I found out not from him, but from someone else who was present when he left to get the food to service, that he had been supporting 2 scholarships for young women, 2 full scholarships to a school, and that his business over the past year had had some downturns, and he was not able from his business to continue financing the second scholarship. Well, one might have had the excuse to say, I cannot afford this, I will resume my charity when I can. What did he do? He took a second job, which in the United States would be the equivalent of being a night manager at a Winn-Dixie superstore or a Walmart, and worked many long hours, and he never dropped the second scholarship. And at the time we met him, as vibrant and lively as he was, after entertaining us, he went to his night job and we visited with his wife. I have never forgotten that kind of dedication. That exemplifies that, yes, there are many things that are true that can astonish and inspire us to do better ourselves.